Okay, sorry about that, guys. Um, I apologize. So I think I used too many tabs tonight, and my computer got a little bit overrun. But good news is, I'm hoping for Christmas I'm getting a new PC, so that'll fix that problem. My hope. Okay. Anyways, let's give everybody a chance to come back in here and see if they'll be in, and we'll get going here. I've got to get a second to come in. All right, cool. We're back, folks. We are back. All righty. So let's get into it. All right, Trump is very close to ending the Ukraine war. And I don't know how many of you heard it, maybe if you're on Rumble, but here's the deal. In with Ukraine and Russia war was supposed to be World War III. They couldn't make it happen. They really wanted to. It failed. But they wanted to because they could completely destroy America and Trump, what Trump's trying to do if they could do World War III. They could get America sucked in, take all of our resources, end Trump's agenda going forward because he would be tied up in war instead of able to fight the shadow war he's trying to fight. It would all just fall apart. It would, and it would, and that was their goal. That was their plan. Make things so bad through the war that people are desperate for big changes, but not in the way that Trump's trying to do. They were going for that. This is a reason why this war is so important. It's the reason why it's been so hard to end, because all of Europe, aka the globalists, the EU, they don't want it to end. This is their last ditch effort to stop Trump. Once this is averted, they'll try other things. They'll always try something, but this is their last big ace in the hole. This is their last big attempt to ruin the Trump operation. The Cold War going on behind the scenes to get America back on track and end the globalist domination. This is it. And Trump's very close. And yet there's still a lot of pressure to be made on Ukraine. He's got to get Ukraine to the absolute edge where they have no hope at all and they have to take this deal. So he writes this tonight. The war between Russia and Ukraine is a violent, terrible one that with strong and proper U.S.-Ukrainian leadership would have never happened. Began long before I was here, blah, blah, blah. If the 2020 election was not rigged and stolen. The only thing radical left Democrats are good at doing. There would be no war, as there wasn't even a mention during my first term in office. Putin would never have attacked. It was only when he saw Sleepy Joe in auction, he said, now my chance, I inherited a war, it never should have happened. Ukraine leadership has expressed zero gratitude for our efforts, and Europe continues to buy oil from Russia, telling you it's a fake war. USA continues to sell massive amounts of weapons to NATO for distribution to Ukraine. God bless all the lives lost. So that's him calling out Ukraine. And then tonight we got, hopefully this works. Sorry, guys. I have a lot closed now, though, so it shouldn't be an issue with the memory anymore. All right, this is from the White House tonight. Readout of peace talks in Geneva between Rubio, Special Envoy Witkoff, Kushner, Secretary Driscoll, and the Ukrainian delegation. Goes all the way through and how they talked. And then at the end, meeting concluded with a shared understanding today marked a significant step forward. A continued close coordination will be essential as the parties work toward a durable, comprehensive peace. I want to tell you guys that the other day there was a headline. I told you guys last week that if they don't take this, Trump's going to pressure them and make it miserable for them if they don't take it. He's making it an offer they cannot refuse, even though it's not what Ukraine wants. It's very Russia-favored, a very Russia-favored deal. But they're going to have to take it. Because if they don't, I believe we're going to stop sending weapons over there. Europe's already going broke over this. They have no manpower to send over there. The word is Ukraine is starting to recruit 16-year-olds. That's how desperate they are. That's how much people they're running out of. And there's a bunch of corruption charges that are about to come out on Zelensky. totally ruining his credibility as president. If all this happens, or even if it doesn't, they still going to have to take this deal. Trump is going to put so much pressure on them that I don't see them not taking this deal. But Europe is crying foul. All the media pundits are saying this is so unfair. This is capitulation to Putin. It's because they want this to keep going. Thankfully, it will not. They're not going to let it. Trump is not going to let it. And I think we're gonna see a miracle, which is this before he's trying to get it done before Thanksgiving, which would be insane. But he's really trying to get it done before the what am I trying to say here? He's really trying to get it done before December. If he can get it done before December, it's just incredible. It's an incredible feat. And we've just never seen anything like this. But it'll also mean that if this is finished, all major conflicts in the world will be over, at least physical conflicts. That's a miracle. That's an absolute miracle. And it frees Trump up because with security guarantees for both sides, everything stopped in Israel and Gaza, you have no reason for anybody to get into war again. And what Trump's done, he's brokered all these deals everywhere, and they've brokered deals between people, but also put us in the middle of it. And you don't want to mess with the U.S. And so he's getting all this done, and now it'll stabilize the world, and it'll ruin the globalist big power. I mean, and their big power is always when things get tough, start a war. When we're running out of money, start a war. When we're losing influence, start a war. That's what they've always done for decades now. And Trump might have just taken that away from them. In doing so, it's going to really free up the economy for us next year. And America First is going to all of a sudden get back on steroids. That's what's coming as soon as this happens. And then Trump is just, right now, he's going after it from all angles. Look at this today. He had, I love Luongo, but the Jews, to all the people saying it's all about Israel and the Jews all the time. Well, Trump's just opposite. He's changing everything. He says, in a mass development, Trump's expected to announce Healthcare Price Cuts Act as soon as tomorrow to fix Obamacare. Guys, this is crazy. One of the big attacks on Trump and the Republicans the last few months, maybe even years, that you could say has actually kind of worked, is the healthcare stuff. And Trump's about to take that completely away from him and make it a Republican issue, make it a redoing Obamacare issue. And this is going to be a massive win. And I'm telling you right now, the only way he's going to get this passed or be able to announce it is if some Democrats have already signed off on it. If he's got moderate Democrats already signed off on it and they're able to get through the filibuster easy, this is a shockwave that'll run through the country politically. And it could single-handedly swing all the momentum back for the midterms back to Republicans in a way that they won't lose it going forward, except a major, major blunder. So this bill would halt Obamacare premium spikes. Plan reportedly includes deposit mechanism, putting money into health savings account, incentivizing lower premium options, end the premium hikes, end zero premium subsidies, stop massive fraud known as ghost beneficiaries. Trump said, I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for this massive amount of money to be paid directly to the people to buy their own health care. Guys, this is wild. He did say this when he reopened the government, but the fact that they're going to get it out this fast, I mean, Trump is killing, and I mean killing the whole narrative that he's not doing stuff domestically right now. To tackle healthcare while at the same time maybe ending Ukraine, Russia, I just hope you guys are ready because it's really ramping up. We have this right here that today Trump is designating Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. That's absolutely massive. So now we have Antifa, a terrorist organization, Muslim Brotherhood. I believe he declared the cartels. This gives him more power to just take these things out. ruin their ability to fundraise, their any recruitment they might get in America. This is just crushing things. What's up, CA Human? How you doing? Soros has his finger with in Ukraine. Absolutely, Alan. One Love says Zelensky has billions of dollars in large matches, bullets. Oh yeah, Zelensky's terrible. Alan says, do I think there are U.S. NGO labs in Ukraine under Russia control? Yes, I do. Or at least destroyed. I think that was one of the main reasons Putin went in. So, sorry. I know I got sidetracked there. Let's keep going. Trump today announced it's time to focus all energy on election fraud, which is why Thune needs to nuke the filibuster. Not only that, guys, this is important because, with Venezuela, that's the hub, a lot of people believe, for the changing of votes in our machines, that it's Venezuela that was behind a lot of it. Interesting stuff. Why are we all going after Venezuela? And now Trump's saying focus all of our energy and might on election fraud. I don't know. Pretty interesting stuff. This is also putting pressure on the Republicans. Just imagine if they get a bill passed for the election fraud. That would just change everything. We have this suggested today. Speaking of the filibuster, which, by the way, if the filibuster gets done away with, we get lots more passed.
You call for an end to the filibuster. In the past, Leader Thune has said that it's just not happening. There aren't the votes. Mr. Secretary, do you believe that you have enough votes, that the president has enough votes to get rid of the filibuster?
Well, we will see come January 30th, because that's the point of my editorial, is to put the Senate on notice that the Democrats kept the government shut down, and Ezra Klein in the New York Times took the mask off. He said this wasn't about health care. This was about stopping totalitarianism. The Democrats haven't been able to stop President Trump in the courts. They haven't been able to stop him in the media. So they had to harm the American people. 1.5% hit to GDP, $11 billion permanent hit. They don't care. So I believe that Senate Democrats, if Senate Democrats close the government again, that Senate Republicans should immediately abrogate the filibuster.
You hear that? So come January 30th, we got another deadline for continuing resolution. It could shut the government down. They're going to push that if the Democrats shut the government down again, we immediately nuke the filibuster. I'm telling you guys, the next couple months are going to be wild. We see the end of the Ukraine war. We see Trump ramping up the idea of military tribunals, going after this seditious video. We have the Muslim Brotherhood designated terrorist group going after all those. He pulled all the funding for Somalians in Minnesota who were there on special status. All that funding now gone. Get rid of those Somalians. He pulled that. The deportations have ramped up. He's about to fix healthcare. My God, guys, we are heading into a wild 2026 where MAGA is not only going to be back with a vengeance, it might be in better, stronger place than ever before. And so I hope you guys are ready, because it's going to get wild. It's going to get wild and fiery, and I am all here for it. So listen, Alan says, I thought it was Germany. Yeah, I think that story never turned out to be true. I think that story was a rumor. Now, even if that German story, I know what you're talking about with the election, the German stuff, even if that story turned out to be true, there's also always been evidence in Venezuela. So it wouldn't negate what was in Venezuela. It would just say there was more stuff going on as well. Yeah, I know the Sidney Powell stuff. Listen, that Sidney Powell stuff, and I'm not saying Sidney Powell was bad. I think she was given bad information she believed, and she could never prove it. And that's one of the reasons she found herself in trouble. So I don't think that Germany stuff ever ended up there being any teeth to it. New York Times, Michael Wolff. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. The Epstein stuff. So Trump this weekend it was announced that they're starting to go after the judges who sealed Epstein files. Remember, there were 3 courts they went to get Epstein files, and the judges said they were sealed and they wouldn't release them. Well, now the argument is that because of what Congress passed, that the judges, it's now law, they have to release it. And friends, I'm telling you, those are all Democrat judges. Whatever they're hiding, they didn't want out. And if Trump gets that stuff out, that's going to be devastating for Democrats. So now we're going to have the Epstein stuff crushing Democrats as well. I'm telling you guys, MAGA, the best is coming. It's getting better than ever. There is so much to see, so much to get excited about. Do not believe the psyop. MAGA isn't dead. It's building up to be better than ever. We're about to see a ton of wins over the next few months, along with the economy, I believe, completely turning around in 2026 and roaring by the end of the year. You get all that, and the last 2.5 years of Trump's presidency are going to be off the chain. So why is this all happening now? It's happening now because they smell a little blood in the water. They're trying to jump on their last ditch opportunity to attack. And so it's up to everybody to pay attention to this and wonder why. Why is Alex Jones out there saying, I'm about to down Trump? Why is MTG retiring? Why does Trump keep calling out Massey? It's because the only way we win is if we stay unified, and these people know that it's time to demoralize and try to break this thing up. And I hate it. I hate seeing like somebody like Alex Jones being on the wrong side of this. But I showed you guys the bot accounts. I showed you how this is all happening. And I've also shown you there's just like in the Marjorie Taylor Greene case, there's no reason to keep supporting this woman. She's a fraud. So knowing all that, I mean, just be careful. Anytime they keep going after your emotions with something like this, it makes you be doomed, pilling, lose hope, worry about losing momentum. Just remember, there's always ups and downs in all this fighting. But ultimately, when you pull back, there's no denying we're winning huge. And nothing's going to take that away if this keeps going, unless the people give up. That's it. That's the only way we lose. So, Panshay says the filibuster's gone, the Democrats get control. Exactly. What does it take for us to get rid of a filibuster? Oh, dude, it's so easy. 50 votes plus JD Vance. That's it. You only need 51 votes to get rid of the filibuster. Isn't that ridiculous? So the filibuster is such a joke because they don't even do the filibustering anymore. They just say, we're going to filibuster, and then you got to get 60 votes to end it. It's an absolute joke. Just get rid of it. Rule, we have checks and balances. We have a House, we have a president who can veto, and we have a Supreme Court who can overturn. There are checks and balances. You don't need a filibuster. It's an absolute joke. And then if bad stuff happens with the filibuster, God forbid, bad laws are passed, well then in a couple years, it can be overturned without a filibuster. And so ending the filibuster, all it does is mean we can get more stuff done quicker and we can undo bad stuff faster. That's all it means. And so getting rid of it is excellent. We're standing on the precipice of remaking this country in a way I didn't think possible. I didn't know why the whining Republicans can't see this. Because the whining Republicans are one of two things. A, they're either establishment traditional bushwing Republicans who just want it back to the good old days of the uniparty. You guys get some, we get some, and slowly but surely we're destroying our country so we can profit. They want that. They want the good old boys club back. In fact, Bush, the headline I showed you guys last week, there's the headline, the Bush wing wants the party back. So that's number one. Number two, they're just selfish in general. They don't like what Trump's doing. They want to see, they want their good time to roll on, whether it's money, power, the ability to be popular, whatever it is. So it's always bad news. And then if you go to the influencers, well, they have a huge money racket based on the traditional Republican Party. And I'm talking specifically about people like Ben Shapiro, et cetera, et cetera. All these people who jumped on DeSantis's jock for the last election, came back to Trump after he won, but now will take every advantage to criticize him. Again, not MAGA. They are old school Republicans who love the way the good old boys club worked, and they're not going to be helpful for us going forward. And that's why they whine, though. Bill and Hillary, through their lawyers, said they will not be coming in to testify. I know, and now they're talking about going after them for it. So good stuff. Ficus, I'm more worried bad stuff is passed if when Dems are in power, if there's no filibuster. Yeah, but Ficus, you know how crazy the Dems are. They'll just get rid of the filibuster anyways. So why not try to hit them off before they do it? Because if we pass voter reform, the Democrats won't be in power for a generation. We're talking 20 years they won't have power if we pass voter reform. That's how bad it is. So that's number one. So you don't even have to worry about that. Number two, we could pass all sorts of other laws to prevent them from being able to get there by the time they get back in power. So there's no reason not to go on offense, because if you just stay on defense and we play this stupid game, and it is a stupid game of, well, if we get rid of it, what will they do? They can get rid of it. Don't you understand? Like, why would the Democrats have any incentive to stick with a tradition anymore that hurts them? They have zero. They're already talking about, okay, here's a perfect example. Under Biden, when the Democrats were in power, they voted to get rid of the filibuster. And the only reason it didn't happen, and they were going to pack the courts, they were going to add places as states like Washington, D.C., which would give them more senators, and what's it called? I can't think of it right now. The island, Puerto Rico. They were going to put Puerto Rico, Washington, D.C. as states. That would give them 4 more senators, much more power. They were going to pack the Supreme Court. So they already tried. And the only reason it didn't pass is because Joe Manchin, who is super moderate, old school Democrat, West Virginia, he voted against it. And Kyrsten Sinema, who is a moderate Democrat from Arizona, who is owned by financial people and bankers, they told her, you better not do this. They'll destroy us and the economy. So 2 Democrats who no longer are in the Senate, the Democrats are much more radical now. Those 2 Democrats saved us from basically losing our country forever. Because if they had packed the Supreme Court and they had brought in Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., we never would be in power again. So they saved us, those 2 senators. They're gone. The Democrats will get rid of the filibuster next time. So we need to do it first and go on offense. It's the only thing that makes sense. SCOTUS won. Yep. Yeah, SCOTUS. So SCOTUS put on hold a judge, an activist judge, tried to kill the Texas map, the redrawn Texas redistricting map. SCOTUS put a hold on it until the appeals heard. So it's not in effect, her overturning it, but it's also not fully struck down yet. Anyways, yeah, they would have had 10 Kentucky Browns on the court. It would have been terrible. So anyways, guys, well, love you. I went late. Sorry about the mishap in the middle and had to do a part 2. But God bless you guys. I'll plan on being on tomorrow. But listen, things are good, man. Things are really, really good. We're winning way more than anybody's talking about. And it drives me nuts that more people aren't talking about it. Drives me nuts we're getting caught up in all this stupid stuff. But again, take the time, find out who's speaking about this stuff, and compare it to what you actually know is happening. And you won't get discouraged. You won't get blackpilled. You won't get sucked into these narratives. And looking ahead, 2026 is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So God bless you guys. I got to head out, but just a quick prayer. Bless you in Jesus' name. Bless our country. Bless President Trump and the administration. Amen. You guys know I'd usually pray more, but it's really late. So have a blessed night. I'll see y'all tomorrow.